Alrighty, hey guys, it's your boy, ThatRandomGuy. Sorry if I'm coming across a little bit tired. I have a very sore coccyx, and as such means I'm not sleeping very well. Hey Max. Okay, alrighty, sweet. Let's jump into this. Thanks, Max. Okay, I'm gonna hit restore. Mr. Shiny. Thanks, Max. Shivers, I should do the same, actually.
Hello.
Oh, hi! No whistling, right?
Right.
Whoa, thanks for
Nothing really.
Thanks, Prey. How are you, brother? Did you just finish the stream? You've been chilling out today. Oh, yo. Hey, Miriam. Thanks for becoming a fan. What? I'm not allowed back out there. Thanks, brother. Nurse Grindele.
Good afternoon, Doctor.
Oh, hi. Is this Ward J2?
Yes, sir. The patients are ready for your inspection, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse. Well, who's first?
Monsieur Croquet in bed 2.
What's his problem?
He's been complaining of loss of consciousness. You'll need this, Doctor.
She gave me a long, narrow metal box and a stunning smile. Thanks.
Well, she is, she does get around. Yeah, this one is Grendel.
Hi.
And she
I'm
gets
Dr.
around.
Stobart.
Hello, Doctor.
The nurse told me you keep losing consciousness.
That's right. I've had the problem as long as I can remember. It's a real out-of-body experience. Like death, but not so conclusive.
I see. How long does it last?
Just a fraction of a second, and then I recover.
I might not have been a doctor, but I was formulating a diagnosis all the same. This guy was nuts. I know exactly what you mean. It's known in the medical field as blinking.
Is it serious?
Of course it isn't serious. It's perfectly natural.
But just think, 2 seconds every minute. Why, that's almost half an hour every day. 2 weeks out of every year spent in total darkness.
I don't have time to listen to this baloney. Have you any idea what this is?
Please, take it away before I throw up.
I thought about giving him an electric shock, but I just couldn't do that to a sick guy. Do you know what this piece of equipment is called?
No, I don't.
Do you know what this is?
Is it self-raising flour?
No. Have you ever heard of the Club Alamut?
Nah, I haven't.
Have you heard of a guy called Merlin?
No, Doctor.
Do you know what this tool is used for?
eye surgery.
That's a dumb thing to say. It's not sharp enough.
What?
Does this gem mean anything to you?
No, Doctor.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Nah, Doctor. Who is it?
A cold-blooded killer.
One of your colleagues?
No, he really is a murderer.
I've never seen him before.
Do you recognize this red nose?
Nah, I don't.
Nah, I don't.
Which bed is Marquet in?
He's round the corner, in solitary.
What's the matter with him?
I don't know, but the men who brought him in were wearing masks and rubber gloves. Hey, you're a doctor. How come you don't know?
We doctors don't know everything.
Then how come you act like you do?
Has Marquet had any visitors?
Nah, neither have I. That's the worst thing about being in hospital. You feel like the rest of the world has abandoned you.
Well,
Yeah.
you know how it is. Life
Good
goes
point, eh,
on.
Mac?
Thanks for those comforting words.
Well, goodbye and good luck.
Thanks, Doc.
Now, I was no doctor, but this guy looked dead to me.
He's dead.
It was a device used for measuring people's blood pressure. Hello again. Do you know what this piece of equipment is called?
No, I don't.
The guy was sick. His face was the same shade of gray as the pillow beneath his head. I wondered whether I ought to call the nurse. Maybe check him out for breathing. The nurse was stunningly beautiful. The guys on this ward sure were lucky to be in her care.
Just some hot black chick. Like. And I'm French.
Could you take a look at the client in bed number 3 now? His name is Eric Sopmarsh.
What's his problem?
He's delirious. He just now came out of theater. He's recovering from major surgery.
I'll have him up and about before you can say, Lazarus, get out of your bed and walk.
Is that what the passage said?
Hello? Anybody home?
Who are you?
My name is Dr. Stobart, and I'm here to steer you down the rocky road to recovery.
Dr. Monroe said there was no cure for what I've got.
Your problem is you stayed in bed too long.
Are you sure you're a qualified doctor?
You better believe it.
You're right, Max. You are right.
Have you any idea what this is?
No, Doctor. I wouldn't even like to guess.
I thought about giving him an electric shock, but I just couldn't do that to a sick guy. I'm going to take your blood pressure.
Why?
I'm a doctor. It's my job. I'm going to take your blood pressure.
Why?
I'm a doctor. It's my job. Do you know what this is?
It looks like plaster.
How did you know that?
I'm a plasterer.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of the Club Alimut?
I'm not really a nightclub man, Doctor. A game of whist and a glass of ginger wine is about my limit.
Do you know what this tool is used for?
I'd rather not, Doctor. Ignorance is bliss, as they say.
Indeed.
Have you heard of a guy called Merlin?
No, Doctor.
I have. He was a wizard.
Does this gem mean anything to you?
No, Doctor. Is this some kind of test?
If it was, you would have failed. Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, Doctor. Who is it?
A cold-blooded killer.
Really? He's a dead ringer for my bank manager. Of course, Mr. Soames hasn't got a scar, and he doesn't come from the Middle East.
How's
His
he a
hair's
dead
lot
ringer?
grayer, too. Otherwise, it's just like him.
Remarkable.
He doesn't look anything like my back manager, but he also does.
Do you recognize this red nose?
Doesn't that belong to Boissy?
No. I found it in a sewer.
He's a clown, you know. You wouldn't think so to look at him now, would you?
What the fuck?
What's your impression of Nurse Grendel?
She's a very efficient young woman.
Efficient? You make her sound like a vacuum cleaner.
I've no complaints.
The woman in reception described Nurse Grendel as a monster.
Well, that's simply not true. She's quite strict, but that's her job, isn't it? You've got to have discipline in a place like this.
What can you tell me about Marquet?
He's the man in the private room, isn't he? That room was mine before I was tossed out like a common squatter.
Do you know what's wrong with Marquet?
They won't even say what's wrong with me. Tell me, Doctor, what's your opinion?
It's too early to say.
But I've been here for 3 months.
See you later.
I didn't take his blood pressure though.
Hi, it's me again. I'm going to take your blood pressure.
Why?
I'm a doctor. It's my job.
Okay, alright.
See you later.
Okay guys, I know I've only just started, but I'm feeling a bit blinky, so I'm gonna go get some water, try and perk me up. So I'll be right back. Just I'm gonna do a quick save. And I'll be like a minute. Okay, give me 2. Alright, let's be honest. 2 in a little bit. Right back guys. You sure can. I saw this video on YouTube and it was like chilling out at a place as a Māori, and it was like, anybody want some tea? Nah bro, nah, all good. So a guy makes just tea for him and he sits down and goes, oh bro, can I have a tea? And like all these like 20 people walk into the room asking him for tea. It's amazing. I was like, this is so fucking accurate. Oh, I got the PlayStation controller, aren't I? Oh, was it? What it tastes bizarre. Okay, Nurse Grendel, let's talk.
Doctor?
What is it now, nurse?
Number 2 again. He won't tell me what he wants. He says he'll only talk to a man.
Do I have to? That guy's nuts.
Doctor, I'm surprised at you. There's no way to talk about our clients.
Okay, I'll see him. But I'm telling you, he's a hypochondriac.
Oh yeah, like Eminem's mum.
Hello again.
What does he want to talk to me about?
Do you know what this piece of equipment is called?
No, I don't.
Okay, I'm so confused. Why am I here?
Well, goodbye and good luck.
Thanks, Doc.
I wonder if I wasn't supposed to talk to him about everything. Oh, I can finally talk to her.
Do you recognize this tissue?
No, I don't. It looks like a chronic health risk to me.
Well, I've been carrying it around for days and I'm okay. My pocket's getting a little soggy.
Oh, why would you explain that to somebody?
Would you like to shake hands with me?
Well,
No, it's okay. Forget it. I didn't really want to use it on her anyway. What is this device?
it's for taking the patient's blood pressure, doctor.
Why did she say that so nonchalantly?
Is this plaster any use to you?
No, it isn't.
Does this mean anything to you?
The Club Alamut? I've never heard of it.
Does this tool mean anything to you?
I don't recognize it.
Do you know Merlin of Gruber Electronics?
No, I don't.
Does this gem mean anything to you?
It's beautiful, but I've never seen it before.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, I don't.
Do you recognize this red nose?
Oh dear. I don't think he'll be needing that again.
Who?
Monsieur
Bossy,
Boissy,
Bossy.
the comatose clown.
Do you recognize...
Oh,
Who?
Monsieur...
Do you have any clowns on the ward?
Why, yes, we do. A professional clown.
I'll bet he lightens the place up.
Hardly. Monsieur Boissy has been in a coma for the last 3 months.
What's wrong with Boissy?
He was involved in a very nasty accident. A silly stunt involving a unicycle. His current condition is due to post-traumatic shock. It's unlikely he'll ever perform as a clown again.
It's an ill wind that blows nobody any good. Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Is this Bossy?
The name on the chart was Boissy.
Oh, he's not dead. He's in a coma. I see.
The poor guy's temperature had been up and down like a white knuckle ride. No wonder he looked so sick.
Okay, never mind.
According to the chart, this guy was called Croquet. The graph showed a steady decline in his pulse rate and an increase in his blood pressure. It kind of shook me to see this guy's life reduced to a few jagged lines.
Whoa.
The name on the chart was Sopmarsh. His temperature was normal, with little fluctuation either way. Hello again.
It must be a bug.
Well, goodbye and good luck.
Okay,
Thanks,
I'm going
Doc.
to talk to the doctor. I mean the nurse. I'm going to do a quick save there. It was really cool. When you installed Broken Sword, you could play Brick Breaker while you waited for it to install. In the olden days, back on the old Windows 98.
Do you have a patient named Marquet on this ward?
Oui, monsieur. He is in the private room at the end of the ward. He has been placed in strict isolation.
Why is Marquet in quarantine?
If you wish to know more, you'll have to speak to Herr Hagenmeier. All I know is that Marquet's room is strictly out of bounds.
Yeah.
Do you know who paid for Marquet's room?
No, of course I don't.
Preferential treatment like that must cost an arm and a leg.
That's not my concern, monsieur.
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Doctor,
What is it?
you haven't taken my blood pressure.
Does George know what he's doing? What the?
Seems fine to me.
You're not doing it right.
Of course I am.
No, you're not. Dr. Monroe never did it like that.
I can't take a satisfactory reading while you're excited like this. I'll come back later.
Yeah, right, exactly.
What now?
You didn't finish taking my blood pressure.
Okay, let's try again.
You don't have the first idea what you're doing, do you?
I'll come back when you've recovered your manners.
Okay, so I'm going to ask Ness Grendel to do something. Oh, hang on. I must have to do something while she walks away. But what? Oh my gosh, I'm at a point in the game where I've forgotten what to do next. I know what I'm doing. I remember now. I love that. That's a great idea. Let's give it a go. But I'm pretty certain I remember what it is now. I've got to go talk to the dorky boy. It's my first day.
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Okay. She won't even move now. Annoying. That's okay. Oh, Mr. Shiny. So clean. Ultra clean.
Excuse me, sir.
You must be the new boy.
Yeah, I must be.
Well, stop wandering about and make yourself useful. Bunny, come here, boy.
It's walked through me.
My nephew. Can I trust you to look after him?
Do your own babysitting, Gramps. Who do you think you are, anyhow?
I am Felix Hagenmeyer.
And may I say what an honor it is to meet you in person, sir. You are on my medical wall of fame. Right up there with Pasteur and Leary. I look on it as a privilege, no, an honor, to look after your nephew, sir.
He is fresh out of medical school. It will open his eyes to see a real doctor on the job.
I'll bet.
Show him around. Let him see some real suffering.
So long, Hagenmeyer.
Bunny's just over there.
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Yeah, it's true. It looks like Final Fantasy VIII, eh?
Hey, Benoit.
There's no need to shout. What do you want?
Here, take this pressure gauge.
Thank you, sir. What do you want me to do with it?
Well, keep it safe until I think of something. Are you ready with that pressure gauge?
Primed and ready to pump, sir. What do you want me to do with it?
Use it on Eric Sopmarsh.
Okay.
Okay. And now I need to wait for her to leave. Go on, Nurse Grendel, go.
It was a life-sized marble figure of a guy in robes. The sculptor had tried to give him a look of paternal authority and concern. To my mind, he looked just plain constipated. He sat like a statue of a sack of potatoes, but the cop's eyes were as watchful as a hawk's. I'm Dr. Stobart.
Bonjour, docteur.
What does this tissue suggest to you?
It looks as if it has been used to wipe Satan's butt.
I hate to say it, but you could be right. Would you like to shake hands?
What for?
As a gesture of goodwill.
On reflection? No.
Can you think of any sensible use for this plaster?
Sensible? No. Puerile? Yes. But you've probably thought of those already.
Have you ever heard of the Club Alamet?
No. It sounds Middle Eastern.
What do you think this tool is used for?
Branding mice without bending down.
What?
Are you Thomas Merlin of Gruber Electronics?
No.
Then you won't be needing this. Do you recognize this gem?
It isn't an emerald, is it?
Yeah, I think so. Thanks. Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, I have never seen him before.
Gem was actually useful information.
Do you recognize this red nose?
Don't get cute with me.
An emerald. Hey, Lisa.
Have you seen any suspicious characters on the ward?
How's your night going?
I have.
A gorilla and a weasel?
No. This was a tatty old bear.
How is the bear acting suspiciously?
Well, he was wearing a homburg.
Is that against the law?
No, but it's pretty weird for a bear.
Don't you think it's possible that the bear was a man in disguise?
Well, obviously, I'm not completely stupid.
Thanks,
But
Lisa.
who would go to the bother of disguising himself as a bear? It's not as if he'd blend in with the surroundings. I checked with base to see if any
Chat
bears
has
had
been
been
missing you,
reported
Lisa.
missing from the zoo or a traveling circus. They told me to sit tight until reinforcements arrive. I guess they're right. I'd be stupid to tackle a bear single-handed.
Have you heard of a guy called Marquet?
He's in quarantine, Doc, right behind this here door.
Marquet is just the man I wanted to see.
I wouldn't go in there if I was you. He has anthrax.
He has anthrax. Dog
I
anthrax?
have to visit my patient.
What for?
Routine. I have to check he's still breathing.
What if he's not?
I'll sign the certificate and register his bed as vacant.
That's a cold and distant attitude to death.
Well, I've been institutionalized to the point of godlike aloofness.
What?
The white coat suits you.
Thanks. Catch you later, officer.
I'm gonna
Au revoir.
presume that means you've
If you see that bear,
got a
kick
platinum
him in
trophy.
the nuts.
Kick him in the nuts.
Rather you than me, pal.
Yo, he is fucked right up.
Marquet?
Yes, I am Marquet. I've been expecting you.
You have?
Well, what are you waiting for? Get it over with.
I just want to know what I should do with the gem.
The Lahmar gem.
Yeah, right here in my pocket.
Right here in my pocket.
I thought you
Yeah.
were one of the Hijinx.
Not me. I never inhaled.
So, you were sent
I see, Lisa.
in my place.
Yeah. You could hardly make
Yeah.
the trip to Ireland in your condition. What should I do with the gem?
Deliver it to the Grandmaster quickly. Tell him that I have found the tripod right here in Paris.
What, you have it?
Not yet, but it's being taken care of. I hired a couple of stooges with
Yeah, I
a
never
flair
inhaled.
for petty crime.
Would that be Flap and Guido by any chance?
You know them?
We've met. What about the Hashashin?
Is more likely to have followed Klausner. He'll stop at nothing to prevent the reforging of the sword.
And that's bad, is it?
As for Klausner, he has gone off to Syria on a wild goose chase.
They have geese in Syria?
What the fuck, George?
As a theory about the location of the...
That's enough excitement for one day, Monsieur Marquet. What are you doing here?
Talking to this patient, of course.
Monsieur Marquet is my patient. If Herr Hagenmeyer was to hear that...
Okay,
Ferguson's
I'm going.
amazing.
I learned all I could from Marquet anyhow.
Oh, George, you buffoon.
Ah, there you are, sir. I was just coming to look for you. I finished with your pressure gauge.
Thanks, Bunny.
What's that noise? It sounds as if someone's having a cardiac arrest.
It's all right. The doctor's in there with him.
Are you sure he was a doctor?
Oui, monsieur. He showed me his ID. It was Dr. Braille.
There's no Dr. Braille working here.
He's an imposter.
Yeah, I know, right?
The door's locked. Help me, officer.
Yeah, he just told you, I thought you were going to come kill me. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm not the guy coming to kill
Stand
you.
back,
And then another guy
monsieur.
walks in the room. Oh, this must not be the guy who's there to kill him. Well done, George. You did it. Incredible. Marquet was actually important. You didn't learn jack shit. You learned you needed to go to Syria, but where in Syria? Here's my question. How did George get out of this situation? The cops would have been like, we need to ask you questions, monsieur. I hadn't thought of that,
found
Lisa.
Jacques Marquet.
Did he talk?
Yeah, he talked. For the very last time.
He's dead.
Yeah. Killed in cold blood by a bogus doctor.
That's despicable. What kind of guy would pass himself off as a doctor and take advantage of a dying man? Was it Khan?
No, I don't know who he was, but it certainly wasn't Khan. He got away out the
Amex.
window.
I love how she's like, what person would impersonate a doctor? Yeah. Yeah. I didn't just do that.
Can you think of any use for this?
That's a thing for measuring blood pressure, isn't it? What are you doing with that?
I picked it up in the hospital. It could be useful.
You ought to take it back. Don't you feel guilty?
No.
That's a very frank response.
Have you ever heard of the Hijinx?
No.
Marquet said that they were his biggest enemy.
His biggest enemy was the
this is true,
bogus
Lisa.
doctor.
Don't remind me. That guy was evil. He had
thank you
wild,
very much.
staring eyes like a dead fish. I'll never trust a doctor again. Do you think the assassin was responsible for killing Marquet?
I don't think so. He could have finished him off the first time. Besides, Marquet would have recognized him.
He was pumped to the gills with sedatives. He wouldn't have recognized the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse unless they'd introduced themselves. Let's take another look at the manuscript. That's the tripod in the Kroon Museum.
Okay, I'm so confused. If George knows that, why was he like to Marquet like, you found it?
That's the gem that Pegram found in Lochmarn. There's a woman looking at her reflection in a mirror.
Who's
The
Andre?
reflection has 3 hideous faces. The Night Scroll bears a phrase in Latin. Through my teachings, you will be enlightened. There's a guy working on a loom. There's a guy with a sword and a bull. Between them is a gem supported by a tripod.
Thank you, Nico.
I guess I'd better go back and talk to that weirdo.
Which one, Rousseau or Sergeant Mou? Oh, but you're referring to Andre.
I'll let you work it out.
Why isn't Andre here on the couch? I swear I remember him chilling out on the couch. Yeah, I just remember you engage with him and then he just like stays at Nico's helping you figure out the case. And he's like, I'm Andre. Anyway, we need to go to Montfaucon. Before we go to Montfaucon, should we go to the police? I don't think we know any. Oh, actually, you know what? We're going to go to the police because we literally just witnessed the murder. And then we're going to go to Montfaucon.
Excuse me,
What do you want now?
have you ever heard of the Hijinx, Sergeant?
What was that?
The cult of the assassins.
What are you trying to say, Stobart?
That the clown is a member of that cult.
I see. And what proof do you have?
Proof? I arrived at my conclusion through logical deduction and...
Pseudo-intellectual people. Leave the investigation of crime to those who know best. The police.
Is
The people who
Rousseau
have
here?
literally given up on the crime.
Yes. You wish to speak to him?
Yes, I do.
One moment, monsieur.
And then we're going to go see Andre and then we're going to go Montfaucon. Okay? That is our progression of events, guys.
It's Stobart, monsieur. He insists on talking to you again.
Thank you, Moo.
Thank you, Moo. What now, monsieur?
Oh my gosh, I've literally got...
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter? You call me from my desk and you say it doesn't matter? I could have you arrested for wasting police time.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry, bro. Your point and clicks are so great. Hey, Dr. Day, how are you? How you been? Just like, that was amazing. Okay. Musikrin. How have you been? How's your day going?
You have left it very late, monsieur.
Late for what?
Anything? I am closing the museum soon. You wouldn't like to get locked in. I can tell you, not in this gallery.
Why not?
It is haunted, monsieur.
I'm sorry to
You
hear
don't
that.
believe in ghosts, surely.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I do. 7 years ago, a lad managed to hide in here. He'd made a bet with his friends, I suppose. When I found him in the morning, he was cold as ice and stiff as a board.
Well, what was the cause of death?
They said it was a brain tumor. But on his face was a look of stark, desperate terror such as I have never seen before.
Scary.
Oh.
Forget it.
Sorry to hear that, Dr. Dyer. Genuinely. And I'm just some guy on the internet, but like legit.
The rod turned smoothly, and the window above me opened.
George, hurry the fuck up.
Don't even think of climbing in there, monsieur. You'll be suffocated.
I always wondered how it felt to be a mummy.
Oh my gosh, close that window, you piece of shit. Now he's like worried about me now. He's like, this motherfucker is gonna climb in there shit. Come on, go close the window. Go, 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 go. Yeah, what is the idiot doing? If I've done this too early, is the game just...
It is closing time, Monsieur Lobineau.
Already, there just aren't enough hours in the day.
More than enough for me. I can't wait to get home and put my feet up.
Eh bien, see you tomorrow.
Good night, monsieur.
We are all friends. You could. The Frenchest.
Hey, Guido! Look at this!
Quit fooling around, you moron! Get your ass over here and bring that flashlight. What the? Who's there?
Let's get out of here!
And when I woke up, I was at the police station. Luckily, I managed to persuade Rosso I was innocent.
Poor Georges.
What a mess. I bungled the whole thing.
I don't think so. You made a pretty good job of distracting those two crooks.
Yeah, but the killer got away with the tripod.
No, he didn't. He's not the only one who can dress up in costume.
You mean... it was you who stole the tripod? Oh, hell, Nico. I could have been shot.
Those dogs are more likely to shoot their own feet.
I just wish you'd told me your plans. We're supposed to be in this together. And how come you dressed up like a
Right,
pantomime cat?
Don't sulk, Georgie, please.
Oh, rats. And don't call me Georgie.
Oh, I really thought you'd be pleased.
After all, we've got the tripod. Aren't you going to try putting the gem on the tripod?
I guess so. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
The gem fits perfectly, but what does that prove?
It's just no explanation how he could do
Maybe the
that.
tripod has to be in a certain location.
There's nothing on the manuscript to indicate where, though, is there?
Oh, by the way, I had a visit from André Lobineau.
Oh, yeah. I hope you didn't mind me giving him your address.
Not at all. It was lovely to see him again. He was over the moon when I showed him the manuscript. It's not often he gets that excited. He made a sketch of the Knight's crest to take back to the museum. I believe he's identified the family who bear that crest.
I sure hope so.
100%.
What do you think the purpose of this tripod is?
On the manuscript, the gem is shown mounted on top of it.
So, we risked a criminal charge to steal a display stand?
Don't ask me. Maybe it's intended to hold the gem in a specific position.
Let's take another look at the manuscript.
Oh, okay, are we going to call Andre? Is that going to happen?
That's the tripod we borrowed from the museum. That's the gem that Pegram found in Lochmarn.
Annoying.
I have to go.
Already? You only just arrived.
Time and tide wait for no man.
Okay, I'll see you later.
There was a real Kung Pao conversation. Okay, I'll see you later. I implore you to reconsider. Okay. Went for no man. Rub it through my hair. Time and tide wait for no man. Okay. Just go to the scene of the crime.
Hi, Andre.
No, thank you, Max.
Hello, Georgie.
What's with the long face?
Haven't you heard? The tripod was stolen.
No kidding.
I just don't get it. So many other treasures, and the thieves choose the tripod.
A modern-day alchemist, perhaps?
Who knows? There's no shortage of crazies in Paris. Hey, I visited Nicole's apartment.
Yeah,
Ooh,
she told
thanks,
me you
Max.
came by.
Ooh, quite a fine Georgie boy. I didn't expect anything quite so sexy.
I hope you're referring to the manuscript.
Oui, of course.
Oui, of course.
Have you ever heard of the Hashashin?
Why, yes, it was a radical Muslim sect whose name became synonymous with murder. It was formed in 11th century Persia, shortly before the Crusades.
At roughly the same time as the Templars.
Yes, they gave a new word to our language, Assassini, the assassins.
How did the assassins get their name?
From the legends surrounding the secrets of their initiation rites. A young man who sought to join the sect was given hashish until he drifted into dreams. He awoke to find himself in a fabulous garden with everything he could wish for. The freshest water, the most delicious food, the choicest hash, and the most delectable women imaginable.
Cool. Do you have the address?
I haven't finished the story. There was a price to pay for this taste of paradise.
Wouldn't you just know it?
The young man would wake the next day to find himself back in the real world. He was told that he'd been given a glimpse of the heaven reserved for holy martyrs. A heaven he would enjoy for eternity if he was willing to join the Hashashin.
How did the assassins operate?
Well, as I explained, the new recruits would be only too willing to die for the cause. They'd be instructed in
I get to
uses
get
of
high and
dagger,
laid? I'll kill
poison,
anybody.
And disguise. Then the Grand Master of the sect would name an enemy of Allah.
And they'd stop at nothing to eliminate that enemy.
You got it. They were fearless and deadly.
Does the cult of the assassin still exist?
Take a look around at the world today. You tell me.
What did you make of the manuscript?
It dates from the time of the Crusades.
We guessed that from the Templar seal.
It's a story and pictures like a modern-day comic book.
They sure would.
What story does the manuscript tell?
I don't know. It was probably produced for the tourist market.
Tourists?
Oh, oui, pilgrims in their thousands on their way to Jerusalem. The tourist trade is nothing new, you know. It's been around for centuries. Ever since Joshua made a packet selling souvenir bricks from the walls of Jericho.
Have you deciphered any of the images on the manuscript?
There's very little I can be sure about. The slang of the bull could be a reference to Mithras.
Who's he?
A Persian god, almost as popular as Christ at one time. The only thing I can be sure of is the knight. He's Spanish.
How can you tell that?
The writing on the shield, the reference to Ave Maria. No self-respecting knight from Northern Europe would have borne a coat of arms like that.
Can you identify the knight's coat of arms?
I already did, Georgie. He's a member of the De Vasconcelos family from the Costa Calida.
Were they famous?
No, they're not mentioned after the 15th century.
Oh.
The spotlight of history moved on. They're probably long dead.
Do you think the manuscript could be the map to the Templar treasure?
Frankly, no. That's too far-fetched. The manuscript is interesting
You
enough and a rare
fool.
find, but that's all.
Wouldn't it be terrific if it was a map, though? The treasure of the Knights
He sure did.
Templar.
A romantic notion, Georgie, but extremely improbable.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
Oh, man. Thank you, Nanny Calls. Wait, mustard at a Chinese place?
I once read a list of low-stress jobs. It didn't include police work. Obviously, this guy hadn't read the same list. Excuse me, officer.
And how may I help you?
That sounds like an American invention.
What do you know about medieval ironmongery? Have a look at this little baby.
A tripod. What is it for?
You mean you don't know?
No, monsieur. Nor do you, I think.
Yeah.
What do you make
In
of this
America.
grease paint-stained tissue?
Delightful. Would you like to see some of my used tissues?
Hell no!
Then please put yours away.
Would you like to shake... I stopped myself barely in time. Electrocuting a cop would not have been smart. They'd rebuild the Bastille just so they could throw me in and throw away the key. What do you think of this?
A blood pressure sleeve.
Don't you want to know why I'm carrying it?
No! That would be dangerously similar to making inquiries. I might get a reputation for taking my job seriously.
Do you know what this is?
Aha! You Americans with your notorious nose candy.
Shouldn't I be being
I
arrested?
read Hollywood Wives. I know all about it.
If you tried to sniff this stuff, you'd wall up your nostrils. It's plaster of Paris.
It is. Thank heaven. For one awful moment, I thought I might actually have to arrest somebody. Alors, the paperwork. You have no idea.
Yeah.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
The pattern looks Middle Eastern. Beyond that, who knows?
Do you know what this is?
It's a sewer key.
Does it mean anything to you?
Do you belong to some obscure arm of the Masons?
What?
Take a look at this.
Ah, an electrician. My TV has been acting up. Could you fix it?
I doubt it. This isn't my ID. Look at this gem. What do you think?
Cut glass.
No, it's not. It's for real.
What kind of madman would go around waving a priceless gem under people's noses?
So either it's glass or I'm mad? I didn't like to think about that for too long. Have you seen this man before?
No. Who is it?
I believe him to be an international assassin.
Oh.
Is that all you can say? Oh.
I did wonder if I should
I love how
say
you
that I
imitated
believe you
them.
to be an international paranoiac, but it didn't seem polite.
And all you can say is, oh!
Does this red nose mean anything to you?
Aha! A prosthetic nose. Very significant.
It is?
No, I am just having a little joke.
He's drunk as fuck.
Shouldn't you be off directing traffic or something?
You have seen the Parisian traffic, no?
Yeah, so?
I could direct the traffic. The most dangerous, the east side of Rome. Or I can sit here and enjoy the sun.
Oh, that sucks. I
the
hate when you now does that.
architecture and the so-so Sauvignon. Which would you choose?
Yeah, but I'm not a policeman. What happened to duty?
An excellent question, monsieur.
Yeah, I hate when you now just does that. Yeah, he is just fine.
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Les Templiers. Only that they were excommunicated in 1312 and hanged in their dozens within this very square.
Boy, what they teach in the police academy these days.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur.
Yeah, it happens all the time when I'm
I'll
trying to
be
like
there.
talk about cool stuff happening in Days Gone. Yeah, it's so frustrating.
An architectural echo of the gallows that once used to stand here. At the top of the stairs was a medieval church.
Why is that a cog? Oh, hang on. Is that a statue of... no, George! Okay, George. Yeah, and I really wish what it would do is just blank out the word it didn't like. That would be so much cooler.
A row of old pews, beautifully carved and glowing with polish. I thought of all the people who must have sat here over the decades. All those Parisian derrieres, firm buttocks of the young ladies, the flabby flesh of the old men.
Agreed.
That wasn't a pleasing image, so I went back to the young ladies. Whoa! I didn't have time to sit around.
Yeah. I didn't want to think about that.
A knight's tomb, his effigy in marble lying in perpetual state, waiting in prayer for the judgment day. A knight there in the company of his fellows. Biblical references engraved into the tomb edge to guide his way to the next world, I guess.
I remember a priest being here, but I must be remembering that wrong.
A huge stained glass window formed a magnificent centerpiece for its neighbors. I didn't recognize the biblical story in it. I was a Sunday school dropout.
Unfortunately accurate.
A statue of a knight holding a staff and a scroll. The statue had any secrets. It was concealing them pretty well.
He's always watching.
A scroll was a symbol of scholarship. I knew that much. Per disciplinum meum lux videbis. A bit of a stained glass window. Wow! Hoping for a big insight while squinting through a hunk of statuary had been pretty optimistic, I guess.
I don't have the right thing. I need a lens. Okay, we gotta go. I'm in the wrong place, guys.
I didn't have time to sit around.
I didn't have time to sit around. George just taking his sweet ass time getting the fuck down the hallway.
An ornate fountain stood in one corner of the square. I'd have to come by here in the summer to see it working. There was no water to frolic about in, and the leaf mold that was collecting there just wasn't the same somehow. The juggler was good. Why he couldn't put that kind of application into getting a real job, I had no idea. Maybe he just liked dressing up like a horse's ass.
That is needlessly brutal, George. But I love the energy.
Hey, you with the balls.
Oui?
I've got a medieval tripod.
And my Uncle Claude has hemorrhoids. So what?
Does this grease paint mean anything to you?
It looks like one of mine, or at least another jongleur.
Or a clown?
Mais naturellement, a clown.
Hardly a breakthrough. It didn't seem right to fry somebody's palm when they make their living with their hands.
Okay, I'm very confused, George. You are of two minds,
What
my
do you
friend.
think of this?
It is a medical device, oui?
Oui, yes. Does this plaster interest you?
Well...
Forget it. Forget that I asked.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
You smoke?
No, I don't.
In that case, it means nothing to me.
This gadget is a sewer key.
I do not want it, thank you.
Well, I'm not selling it. I just wanted your opinion.
It is hardly my area of expertise.
Does this lab pass mean anything to you?
You work in a lab.
No, try again.
You steal lab passes?
No. Well, not as a habit. This was a special case. Feast your eyes on this.
Incroyable! Is it real?
I think so.
Some people believe that great gems always have curses upon them.
Oh, that's garbage. Although, now that I think about it, both of the people who had this before me disappeared in mysterious circumstances. And the guy who was supposed to get this was shot and then murdered in his hospital bed. Do you want it?
No, thank you.
Have you seen this man before?
No.
Look, a red nose.
Oh, you say, whoop-de-doo.
Ruthless.
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Le Templier? Ah, the last Grand Master, Jacques du Molay, was burned on an island in the Seine in 1314.
Wow. You're pretty well educated for a juggler.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
How did you learn to be a juggler?
Juggler?
What is this, juggler?
It's you. You juggle, that makes you a juggler.
No!
I'm a
I am
jongleur.
a jongleur.
Yeah.
A jongler? What's that?
Mon Dieu! A jongleur is an artist, a master of the contragravitic aeroballetic mysteries. In centuries past, the courts of the crownheads of Europe had the jongleurs, witty, erudite men to whom the monarchs turned in their hours of need.
Wait a minute, wait. Let me get this straight. Our enemies are at the borders, plague ravages the land, and the peasants are revolting. Thank God we've got Chuckles the Jongler to throw his balls around. I don't think so.
Well, actually, George, funnily enough, there were a lot of jongleurs/jesters that actually were confidants to their monarchs.
That juggling doesn't look so difficult.
Oh, it does not, does it not? Perhaps you feel you could do better, no?
I'll give it a try.
Be my guest.
I had no idea what I was doing. But this guy was obviously an idiot, so how difficult could it be?
This is true, Dr. Dale.
A lot more difficult than I thought. That's how difficult. Still, it was my big chance to be derided by complete strangers.
Not so easy after all, is it?
No, I guess not. Look, a red nose.
Ah, you are a clown.
A clown?
No, if so, you would...
For a moment, but fell down the pothole of abstraction before I could focus on it.
Okay, I need to listen to it
Look,
again.
a red nose.
Well, you say, whoop-de-doo.
Look, a red nose.
Well, you say, whoop...
Oh, I shouldn't have skipped through it. Why did I do that?
Catch you later.
That's
Au revoir,
annoying.
monsieur.
Very annoying. Sorry, guys. I don't know.
Hello again.
I was resting on my finger.
Hello again, monsieur.
What do you think of the juggler?
Ah, he is excellent, most watchable.
But he's blocking the thoroughfare and obstructing traffic.
So? He is amusing. The traffic isn't. If he wants to block it, who am I to say no?
You're a cop.
Ah, oui. So I am... Ah, well...
So you're not gonna do anything about this guy?
No.
He probably doesn't even have a license.
Ah, a license. This I had not considered.
So what are you gonna do?
The instant I return to the station, I shall check.
Return to the station? Why not just ask him?
And spoil his concentration? What kind of a barbarian do you take me for? Ah, you are a clown.
Do I look like a clown?
No, although you juggle like one. Now, if I'd known you were a clown, it would have been amusing. And not
Exactly right.
humiliation for
Hello,
you.
Bobby.
What do you mean?
Who ever heard of a plainclothes clown?
He had a point. So you're saying that if I juggle badly with a red nose, I'd be the king of comedy. But if I juggle badly without it...
You look like a pathetic loon. Oui, monsieur. You have it.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
Hi again.
It's all good, brother.
Oui? What is it this time?
Look, a red nose.
Well, you say, whoop-de-doo.
Bugger. Oh, I missed out the unique dialogue.
I'd like to have
So
another try
annoying.
at juggling, please.
You have gone on a crash course, perhaps.
No, I just had an insight into presentation.
Huh?
Allow me to demonstrate. The balls, please.
If you insist on completing your humiliation, monsieur.
Okay, now for my secret weapon. The juggler was speechless with rage. You could have mistaken him for a mime. and without a word, he collected his balls and left in a fury. Hey, you forgot one of your balls. Hey! But he didn't hear.
Just
Better
ruined
still,
that guy's whole
deprived
day.
of his entertainment, the gendarme decided maybe he ought to do some policing for a change.
Yeah.
It was the bright red ball I'd got from the juggler. There was a small
Ruined that guy's
crowd of
whole
5
crowd?
sightseers.
Are
It's a
they?
weird thing, but you can take the most intelligent people in the world, put them in their vacation duds, and hey presto, they look like morons. Why is that? I had no desire to talk to the crowd.
He must be one of them mimes. He's miming going in the sewer. The fact my brain is just giving me this information is crazy. It's wild. I think this is where we lose the Tito. Yeah, 100%.
Hey, that's hollow. It was time for some brutal destruction.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing hollow there. That sounded pretty solid. There were 3 arches, each with an inscription. Close up, I could see a faded inscription. My medieval French isn't much, but the few words I understood seemed to say, "This is where the gallows used to stand." Maybe. The inscription was hard to read, but I made out Templar and something about innocence. The inscription was undecipherable. The plaster had cracked and was falling away. I wondered why. The hook was held rigidly by the tightly wound chain. The hook was held rigidly by the tightly wound chain. There was a handle in the boat that fed out chain with a hook on the end.
Yo, this game is mesmerizing, man. Broken Sword is just so much fun. And unlike a lot of point-and-click titles, it doesn't have moon logic. I flippin' love this game. George, what are you doing? No, George, what are you doing?
Close up, I could see the plaster was thinner where I'd broken through, and behind it were some cogs and a lever.
George. Moon logic is when the puzzle, the answer doesn't make any sense, and you like have to look it up, or you know somebody that knows the answer. Like I think it's at the Legend of Monkey Island. You have to give a monkey a bar of soap, and then he gives you this like hook thing, and you're like, what the fuck? Why would giving this monkey this bar of soap give me a hook? It's so ridiculous. Bro, George, I'm about to kick you in the fucking head, bro. What are you doing?
Here goes. Hey, cool.
I see. That's why. But like, yeah, I suppose some, I guess, but it's just interesting how many of them were just like literally like, this doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Whereas Broken Sword is like logical conclusions. Yep. Imagine being a child without the internet and being like, why can't we figure this out? Okay, so I'm gonna do the bad ending first.
The door mechanism was trashed.
I'm gonna do the bad ending first. So we're just gonna go save. And we're gonna do the bad ending first. It's bad ending time, fam. It's bad. It's bad ending
voices
time.
From the lit area. This was it. The conspiracy was revealed. Okay, nobody move. I'm making a citizen's arrest. At last, I had them. I could see the fear in their eyes as their little scheme came to pieces. You're all going away for a very long time. And you can just drop those guns. You're impressing nobody.
Some nondescript guy hiding his body somewhere. Sweet. Cool. Alright. My favorite bad ending, there's a part where there's this electrical line above George's head. I remember as a kid touching it and dying.
In the beginning was the
Hey, it's
end.
that guy from the unpronounceable European state.
Wrought by our enemies,
And the doctor that killed that guy.
In the end will be a beginning. An end to our enemies heralds our new day.
Report. The military establishments are in flux. The end of the Cold War has left them with no clear goal and as obvious targets for budgetary cuts. We have successfully promoted a sense of betrayal in the upper echelons. They feel that the politicians have cast them adrift.
Bro,
The
George, you
pattern
need a
is
dictaphone.
emerging. Our time is now.
Good. Mademoiselle?
Governments are giving the corporations more respect than their own citizens. A groundswell of dissatisfaction and dissidence is growing. The corporations are becoming too large and complex for their own executives to control them. A blind belief in market forces is accelerating this trend the world over. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
The global population's belief in those that govern it has never been lower. We have inculcated a sense of immediacy and action over forethought
He is.
and planning in all the
From
major
some
governments.
unpronounceable
They
European
are
state.
acting on
One of
hasty
the first lines Shaw
decisions
says in
that
the game.
cannot be completed or revoked without appearing foolish. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
And the guy with the ball, the brown coat and the ball head is the doctor that killed the guy.
Governments are dying a slow death from their own incompetence and our machinations. The millennium is almost upon us, and everything is in place for the rise of our new order. Almost. Professor, where is the broken
I don't think we've ever been
sword?
introduced to them.
Oh,
we discussed last time, with the loss of the manuscript, our search is as a corollary hindered.
And as discussed last time, you have been furnished with a dramatically increased budget. What have you been doing with our money, Professor?
We are working on the principle that the Templars, that is to say our predecessors,
Hold on. These are the Templars?
must have left a trail when they were hiding the clues to the sword of Baphomet's location. I have a small army of historians and archaeologists ferreting out that trail.
I trust these historians and archaeologists are more trustworthy than your friend Pegram.
Pegram was loyal. He tried to protect the Lochmarn gem when the Hashashin came near.
And failed. And don't call that Syrian maniac the Hashashin. He's an assassin. Plain and simple.
That's not what he believes. He actually thinks.
Silence! Do I have to remind you that we have a sacred duty? A trust? When Philippe attempted to destroy the Order, we lost the sword and our power with it. Now we have the opportunity to reforge it. But time is short. We need results, not petty bickering, not excuses. Now,
Eastern European.
Professor Baphomet.
Yes, of course, my apologies. We will find Baphomet and the sword, manuscript or no. We have already found another element,
The
actually within
Russian
Paris.
around there.
Excellent. What is it?
Well, we're not exactly sure at present.
Ha!
But I have my best people working on it. You would do well not to criticize others, Eklund. At least I have not murdered one of our own.
Of course. That guy was the bogus doctor in the hospital.
Marquet was a liability. Eklund dealt with him on my orders.
I beg your pardon, Grandmaster. I did not mean to.
Have you any good news for us, Professor?
We already know 3 of the elements. We know that Klausner had obtained the lens before he vanished.
Where was he?
Syria. We know that he arrived, but after that, nothing.
The assassin.
I fear so. It's a shame. Klausner was a good operative.
I forgot about this. It stopped halfway to let you save. Yeah. We're the geese are.
This will be our last meeting in person until we locate the sword of Baphomet. I hope that I don't need to emphasize the importance of finding it. Without it, our endeavors come to nothing. With the sword reforged, we will have the power to sweep the stage of all opposition. The new millennium will belong to us. The next time that we meet, it will be to become the princess of this world!
Okay, George. I did it first. Yes, she did. She was talking about destabilization in the government.
On the circle's circumference were the Templar seal and 2 Latin phrases. non omnis
I was like, what
moriar,
is he doing? And then I realized.
and clarior e tenebris. I shall not die completely, the brighter from the darkness.
He'd have to look strikingly like George. I know. I know.
In the middle of the circle was a stump of stone, a shaft of daylight from the world above, lancing down to touch it. I noticed 3 small notches around the edge of the stump's top.
I need to find out who this is. No. How good is his American accent? He's the eldest Weasley brother. I reckon he could probably try and bring the energy, yeah.
The light, falling from above, struck the gem and scattered in 5 neat rays, and each ray picked out a letter. Starting from the seal, I could read M-A-R-I-B.
Yes.
Marib.
Yes.
Now all I had to do was figure out what the heck that meant. Nico, I've seen them.
Marib.
Who?
The Templars. I spied on their meeting in the catacombs.
And you saw the Knights Templar?
I saw a bunch of guys masquerading as Templars.
I see.
They're after something called the Sword of Baphomet. The bogus doctor was there, the guy who killed Marquet. The manuscript is the key, just as we thought. It shows the way to the broken sword, whatever that is.
And how does the assassin fit into all this?
He's out to stop them. These Neo-Templars, they're men and women in influential positions. Don't you see?
He did say the thing.
Plantar was one of them. The assassin killed him for the manuscript, to stop them finding the sword.
But now we have got the manuscript.
Yes.
So, how do they hope to find the sword?
I don't know. They said something about a lens and a guy
That is
called
indeed.
Klausner who's gone to Syria.
Huh?
But they didn't seem to realize the significance of the very site of their meeting. You see, after they'd gone, I discovered a stone pedestal and a carved inscription. I set up the gem on
Arkansas
the
6
tripod,
is out
directly
next.
below a beam
End of
of
this
light.
year or beginning of
The
next?
gem split the beam and lit the letters M-A-R-I-B.
Marib is a village in Syria.
Then the Neo-Templars are ahead of us. Klausner beat me to it.
You're not thinking of going there yourself, are you?
Why not?
These guys are crazy and dangerous. That reminds me, you should leave the gem here.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the tripod?
I'll send it back to Andre, anonymously.
Yeah, the cannibal.
Labino explained who the Hashashin were.
Yeah?
The cult of the assassins.
Oh, boy.
Do you think I should go to Marib?
Syria is a long way, Georges.
This is the end of the conversation? Syria is a long way, George. That's me secretly telling you, fuck yes, go right now. You American shit. Whoa, Nico, I got a bit heated there for a second. Oh, George, you know I'm crazy for you. Yeah. Okay. Airport. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Wait, what? How did we get enough information about Spain to already be able to fly to the village that they're in, to the villa of these people? Okay, are we going to go to Syria or Spain? Syria or Spain? Syria or Spain? Ah, he did, when he was talking about the family's coat of arms. But I think they're all dead now, George. It doesn't matter, you can do them in either order. Spain, we going to Spain, baby. Yeah, for sure, Lisa. The coat of arms. We're in Spain now, baby boo. Too old now, but yeah, for sure.
There was a crotchety old guy watering the lawn. If this garden was all his own work, he was more capable than he looked.
I just walk through the water?
Hi, is this the De Vasconcelos house?
Who wants to know?
I could tell the old coot was going to be trouble. My name's George Stobart. I was wondering whether...
Then definitely the Weasley boy.
This is the De Vasconcelos house.
And what business is that of yours, senor?
Look, all I want is to speak to the head of the household.
There is no household. Only the Countess and myself.
Into the line.
Look at this tissue.
It's a tissue with some greasy muck on it.
Yes, that's right. Would you like to shake hands?
I do not think so, senor.
What do you make of this?
So that's it. You're a salesman.
If I was hawking medical supplies, I can think of better places to hawk them. Have you got any use for a fistful of plaster?
No.
Do you recognize this matchbook?
I don't smoke.
Do you know what this is?
See, I have a
television. I don't smoke.
This lab pass mean anything to you?
Nothing.
Do you recognize this man?
No.
I don't suppose this red nose means anything to you, does it?
Ah! El Flojo.
El who?
El Flojo. He is a clown on state television.
Oh. Is he any good?
He is as funny as scabies. Without the laughs.
There's a funny story about how I got this ball.
I don't want to hear it.
There's a funny story behind this ball. I don't want to hear it.
What do you know about the Templars?
Who wants to know?
Are you angling for a bribe or something?
You have nothing that I want, senor, except the pleasure of your absence.
The guy was obviously protecting the Countess against the whole world. But why? Tell me about the Countess de Vasconcelos.
She doesn't receive guests. That's all you need to know.
You don't even know what I have to talk to her about.
She hasn't won the lottery, has she?
No, she hasn't won the lottery.
A more cunning man might have claimed that she had.
Oh yeah? They might have, might they?
And that more cunning man would have been kicked off the premises. The Countess doesn't do the lottery.
Okay. Well, I'll see you around.
Adios.
I can see it. You know, the fact I'm just straight up remembering this is insane to me. It seems to happen a lot with comedians. And impressive, serious actors as well. Yeah, for sure. Still too old, though.
My horse has stopped.
Yeah?
See, my horse never stops.
Well, I'm sorry to hear it. It's always sad when an old tradition comes to an end.
Did you have anything to do with it? See, you.
Well, I'm shocked. I'm mortified. How could you think such a thing?
Very easily, senor. Very easily. I'm going to find out why my horse has stopped. And that means going into the house. You are not, absolutely not, to go in the house. If you do go in the house, I will set the dogs on you.
Oh, wow. So looking after his countess, even though just from that little visual imagery, you can see that his body's failing him. I love visual storytelling, man. It's like so important.
Hey, you on the stairs.
Oops. I know this doesn't look good, but
Look, senor, all I want is a quiet life. A life without mad, house-breaking foreigners in it. Understand?
Look, I just wanted to, use the bathroom.
Leave now, please.
Okay, I'm going.
Ugga. I have to go to the dogs and then the armor. Who let the dogs out? Who? Who?
I hid behind the armor and waited for developments.
Hey, you. I know you are there, American. All right, you dogs, I'm coming.
We just like DH the shit out of Ryan. There you go, you're George Sober now. Rolf has to be heavily involved though. Rolf Saxon absolutely has to be heavily involved.
Madre Dios, who are you?
My name's George Stobart. I'm sorry to burst in like this.
You must leave at once. You're not wanted here.
Please, if you'd just listen a minute.
Very well. State your business, Senor Stobart.
There's been a series of murders, part of some conspiracy. Anyway, the trail led me here.
Here? There is nothing for the outside world here.
Over 600 years ago there was.
What do you mean?
This whole thing ties in somehow with the Knights Templar.
The Knights Templar are dust.
They had a secret that was so important, they went to a lot of trouble to hide it.
I do not see what this has to do with my family.
Your family had a strong connection with the Templars, right? I believe that they have planted some clues here.
Why should I believe a complete stranger who barges into my home?
Just let me have a look around. If I find nothing...
You'll be spending the night at the police station. Very well. Please, sit down.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I have to.
Does this tissue mean anything to you?
Where is this line of questioning going?
Nowhere helpful. Would you like to shake hands?
A formal bow will suffice.
Yeah, right.
Do you know what this is?
Desiccated gypsum.
No, it's plaster of Paris. Plaster of Paris is desiccated gypsum, isn't it? I could tell that I wasn't impressing her. Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
Club Alamut. Not an establishment that I am familiar with, a young man.
Do you know what this is?
No, it looks very practical, though.
Does this lab pass mean anything to you?
Nothing at all.
Do you recognize this man?
No, I have never seen him before in my life. Who is he?
I've got a couple of names for him, but they're probably false. He's the killer.
No, his face is utterly unfamiliar.
Good. At least he hasn't been here. Yet. Does this red nose
It was
mean
really
anything
ominous.
to you?
No, dear. El Flojo.
That would be the TV clown, yeah?
Clown in all important aspects. Apart from the one about being funny.
I got this ball off a juggler in Paris. I couldn't juggle, see? And he thought he was so superior. But, and this is the funny part, I put a red nose on and made out that I was trying to be incompetent. It brought the house down. He was so angry because I'd upstaged... Yeah, well, you had to be there.
I
All
fear
good.
that you're probably right, Senor Stobart.
I know your family is involved with the Templars, but I don't know how.
You should be asking how my family were involved, Senor Stobart. The Templars ceased to exist centuries ago. And as for De Vasconcelos, the line dies with me.
I'm sorry.
Don't be.
Okay, whatever happened, happened almost 700 years ago. So, if the Templars left any clues, they're going to be in stuff that dates back to the early 14th century.
Obviously.
So, what do you have around here that's early medieval?
Early medieval. Let me think. Well, the house is relatively modern, a scant 3 centuries old. Or, of course, the chess set.
That chess set is over 600 years old? It must be worth a fortune.
Indeed it is. Not that I would part with it, of course.
No, I wouldn't either. That's the sort of thing that gets handed down to your children. Sorry.
Its value is less than you might
It's always
think.
like, why the... Oh
That
my
is
fuck, I
not
put my foot in that.
conceded. One of the pieces is a modern replacement. As to the original, it was lost a long time ago.
Nobody has any idea where it is?
No. The children had it when they were taken.
Children? What children?
All in good time, Senor Stobart.
May I examine the chess set?
Certainly. But do not move any of the pieces.
Okay, thanks. Close up, the modern piece stood out like a sore thumb. There was something else odd about the set. All of the original pieces had irregular bases.
My lady, I have to warn you, there's a... You! Why, I'll feed you to the dogs.
Lopez, what have I told you about feeding intruders to the dogs?
But, my lady...
Never without my permission. Senor Stobart, if I find that you're wasting my time, you will be fed to the dogs. Now, I want to show you something interesting. Follow me. Lopez, unlock the door, por favor. This is the only remaining structure on the estate contemporary with the Templars.
Nice. What is it, a summer house?
A mausoleum, Senor Stobart.
Oh.
Come with me.
Hey, senor.
Yeah?
I do not know what you have told my lady to be shown these favors, but I do not trust you.
You've got nothing to worry about. Aren't you coming in?
No, the dead do not interest me. My garden is a living thing. I will be there.
I must protect my lady at all costs. Also, I won't be here around when this relatively strong younger man is around here. What?
Wow, this is old.
It was constructed in the 13th century as the final resting place for the De Vasconcelos Templars.
It's well maintained.
These are my ancestors, and they deserve respect. I come here at least once a week to say a prayer for them.
Mind if I have a look around?
By all means.
Now what? There was nothing to snuff. Feeling like an idiot, I put it down again. High up in the dome were windows. I guess they might open them to make it less stuffy in there. I couldn't climb up there without breaking something. Now what? There was nothing to snuff. Feeling like an idiot, I put it down again.
George, I want you to do that.
In front of the shrine was a lectern with a Bible on it. On removing the Bible, I found a pattern on the lectern top. Hey! It's a checkerboard! Close up, I could see that the pattern was made up of glass squares over a checkerboard pattern. Some of the squares had little jagged holes in the middle. The lectern top had a pattern of glass squares on it. May I ask you something?
You may ask.
I love that. Yeah, Disney Plus.
You certainly know your history.
What's your opinion of the Templars, Senor Stobart?
The Templars? Well, they seem no worse than a lot of the knightly orders.
You are mistaken. Compared to the simpering politicians of the Hospitallers or the brutish Teutonics, the Knights Templar were the embodiment of chivalry. The filthy, money-grabbing French king and his pet pope did a great wrong. A bane settled upon my family at the whim of that self-seeking tyrant.
It was all a long time ago.
Some things don't die. Injustice is one of them.
What's the story with the glass chessboard?
Glass chessboard? Oh, the pattern on the lectern, purely decorative, I'm sure.
There are pieces of glass missing from it.
Oh, it has been like that since I was a girl.
The gaps in the glass chessboard look awfully deliberate.
No, it is ridiculous. What possible significance can it have?
It's part of a chessboard, and the gaps are for...
Senor Stobart, you cannot mean...
This place was built for the Templars. Your chess set is as old as the Templars. It's kind of suggestive, isn't it? I think this must be it. This is what the manuscript is pointing to.
This is extraordinary. Am I to understand that the Templars left a puzzle here? And in all of this time we failed to realize that there was a puzzle?
It was wonderful to watch the Countess change before my eyes.
Right. Well, no time for wallowing in self-pity, eh, Senor Stobart? This mystery has had a good long run, but it ends here and now.
All those years of fatalism were falling away from her.
Is the last of her line, and she gets to see it out. I think there's some poetic justice
Put that
in that.
hose down and listen. Go to the house and get my chess set. Yes, the old chess set. Oh, damn the game. Now hurry.
Don't move it, because he's playing with Lopez.
My, this is exciting, is it not?
Don't get too excited. This could be a blind alley.
Oh, I do not believe that for a moment.
It's good to see you happy.
Happy? You know, I think I am.
While we're waiting, I'd really like to know what happened here. I mean, the curse and everything?
It all began at the time of the dissolution of the Templars. Don Carlos had already left their ranks to become a scholar.
Don Carlos, is he the guy who went missing?
Si, but he had reckoned without the local bishop. Their bishop envied us our lands and determined to use the papal edict as an excuse to destroy us. Don Carlos was on one of his scholarly journeys when the Inquisition arrived. When Don Carlos returned, it was to find his loyal manservant slain and his children gone.
They took the kids? But why?
Oh, we will never know. The bishop denied all knowledge of the children's disappearance. But witnesses had seen his men kill the servant who had been charged to protect them.
What happened to Don Carlos?
He swore he'd find his children if he had to go to the edge of the world. He put on his armor and took up his sword and shield and rode out alone. He was never seen again. Ah, Lopez, you have the pieces.
Si, my lady, as you asked.
Por favor, Senor Stobart, would you be so kind?
My lady.
Calm yourself, Lopez. I believe Senor Stobart's motives are pure.
Very well, my lady.
Oh, bro, this game is so... it's just too good, man.
Trust you.
But you don't.
No, senor.
Yeah, considering you literally deceived me the first time I met you, I do not trust you. Fair play.
It fits, Senor Stobart. It fits.
Working quickly, I found which pieces went into which holes.
Okay, I can never remember how these pieces worked. I think I need to put myself into check.
Maybe not.
Okay. My Pope can kill their king. So right now we're in check. And is it a pawn? Well, the king will die immediately here because there's a rook. And can the pawn... The pawn can't really do jack shit.
Maybe not.
Just the middle
Maybe
section.
Not.
So right now the bishop can kill the king.
No way. Maybe not. No way.
What's the play here? Because I really want to go to bed.
No.
No, my king's not in... Oh, because the queen could kill him, eh? Well, okay, so I'm thinking... Hold on. The bishop goes here and he could kill the king, like, legit, straight away. My king's here, the pawn... Oh, king's taken from the front.
Senor Stobart, look!
What is that? It's not the Holy Grail, is it?
No, Senor Stobart. It is the communion chalice of the De Vasconcelos. Missing
Thanks,
for
Ninicles.
almost 700 years.
Wow. Well, go on.
I cannot. I can hardly believe it is real.
Go ahead. Live a little.
Are you sure? This is your moment of triumph, Senor Stobart.
Sure, I'm sure. The possibility of death traps only occurred to me a few days later.
Yeah, perfect. What?
So the curse of the De Vasconcelos is lifted?
Oh no. The Countess was thrilled to find the lost chalice. But there's still the riddle of the missing knight.
Well, you can forget about that now and get back to finding the Templar's secret.
Actually, I promised the Countess I'd find Don Carlos.
You what?
I can explain everything.
You have got the odds for a withered old Spanish aristocrat?
The Countess entrusted me with the chalice and the quest for her ancestor's tomb.
You're as crazy as she is. Haven't you got enough problems? Khan and the Templars?
It's all part of the same thing. The chalice is important, I'm sure. The manuscript pointed us to the knight, and I have to find him.
What then?
I don't know. But when the knight and the chalice are reunited, maybe I will. Let's take another look at the manuscript.
This is amazing. I need to save and go to bed. It's the next step after this. So, hey, you leave Talrak ceilings alone, all right? They're really in vogue.
The Night Scroll bears a phrase through my...
He's holding the lens.
This is the chalice I discovered in Spain.
I still can't figure out why the Countess gave it to you. After losing it for all those years, she simply gave it away to a total stranger? She's one prawn short of a paella.
The Countess is a fine lady. You shouldn't compare her with seafood.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's something going on between you and that Countess.
Are you serious? She's old enough to be my grandmother. Do you think I should go to Marib?
Syria is a long way, Georges.
Okay, so I must have to go to Syria first and then come back to Spain. Okay, just before I go... He is indeed. Just before I go, I'm going to go to Montfaucon. The cop's back. We'll just try something and then we're going to call it a night, guys. I'll start doing the outro out now. On Mondays, we don't do anything anymore. Mondays is an off day for us, which I'm happy about, to be honest. Which is a Sunday for all our Northern Hemisphere watchers.
waiting in prayer for the judgment day.
And
biblical references in, I guess.
And on Tuesday,
there's a dead guy
Beef will be
there.
playing Days Gone. On Wednesday will be all of us together.
I was surprised Philip LaBelle had left this place alone.
And on Thursday will be the next episode of Broken Sword. So I'll catch you guys there on Thursday.
Carrying all that armor around must have been hard work.
Yeah, on Wednesday is Farming Sim, yeah.
I wondered if this guy had died in combat.
Okay, no, I'm too early. The thing I was trying to trigger is later on in the game. Alright guys, thank you so much. This was awesome. I'm really happy with a lot of people watching us doing Broken Sword because it's literally my favorite game of all time. Dr. Dyer, I hope things get better for you, pal. Legitimately, 100%. Alright guys, catch you later. Peace!